Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, last night on Fox Sports 1, we had a very exciting card, top to bottom. I gotta give these guys at PBC a lot of credit for this card. I thought, it was a great way to keep their momentum going for boxing, and overall, honestly, I would honestly say. And I haven't even had the chance to watch Collazo fight, but this is probably, for me at least, might be the best card they've had top to bottom. And I know the main event was very exciting. That I gotta watch it. I've just seen highlights, but I haven't watched it in its entirety yet. But what I wanted to talk about in this video right here specifically was the fight that took place in the middle of the card. It was between two undefeated prospects. You had in one corner a guy that I was and still am pretty high on it in Cowboy Ryan Karl out of Texas. He was previously undefeated. And then you had a guy who I didn't know as much about. I've never seen him fight up until last night. I just heard his name through guys like my good friend Adrian Granados. Eddie Ramirez, another Chicago boxer, Mexican boxer. But he doesn't fight like a typical Mexican. Like he was in there, he was showing me some stuff, head movement, counter punching, everything. Pretty much, probably one of the more complete performances I've seen from any fighter in a couple months, I would say. Now, he got the stoppage. Eddie Ramirez got a 9th round stoppage. Ryan Karl was the slightly longer, taller fighter, but Eddie's foot speed, his body punching, his hand speed as well, and just how he mixed in his combinations. I think there was a difference in the fight. It was very competitive. You had Eddie Ramirez early on in the fight, working the body, and then you had Ryan Karl making his adjustments in the middle rounds as he began to slow him down and offsetting his superior speed with feints and jabs. It was just overall a great fight. And Eddie Ramirez, and he really stood out to me on the card. I'll get to the Collazo Sammy Vasquez fight because that was an exciting performance. But this performance right here to me from Eddie Ramirez against a good prospect, Ryan Karl, who just was coming off of a very sensational win against another former Chicago Golden Gloves champion, Jose Quesada, who was previously undefeated. He destroyed him. And so for him to go in there and look as impressive as he did, I got to give Eddie a lot of credit. Now, I didn't know much about Eddie, to be honest. I just heard his name through Adrian Granados, so I hit him up after because I didn't watch the initial telecast. I didn't get to watch it live. I watched it, the rerun later on. And after I watched the fight, I hit up Adrian Granados and I asked him to tell me what he knows about Eddie Ramirez, how he is in the gym. And I'll read you the exact quote I got from Adrian Granados, and I'll leave the screenshot for you guys in the comments down below so you guys can see for yourself. But here's what Granados said in regards to Eddie Ramirez and just what he's gathered from being around him in the gym in Chicago, because they both train under George Hernandez in the gym over there in Garfield Park. Here's what he said. Eddie is a great guy and a great fighter. He's quiet, disciplined, and determined. He comes to the gym to work and nothing else. Trains hard and learns from every sparring and fight. It's been a pleasure watching him develop into the star he is becoming. Me and Ed Brown used to give him tough work, and now if you're not on your A game, he will hand out that hard workout. So obviously it sounds like Eddie's been well versed. Obviously Granados. And rest in peace to Ed Brown. He's not here no more. But I'm saying those two guys. If you're in the gym with guys like that every single day, you have no choice but to get better. And when I saw Eddie, I didn't just see your traditional, Mexican boxer who comes forward, takes 3 punches to give one hard punch. No. I saw a guy in there who was setting up shots, picking his shots real well, and exploiting any weakness he saw in his opponent in Ryan Karl. I saw a very aggressive fighter, but within his aggressiveness, he was very controlled. So I gotta say, I've not enjoyed a fight like that in quite some time. I enjoy boxing, but I haven't enjoyed it as much as I did that fight. That fight had everything. It had obviously really good exchanges. It had hard punches. It had the more cerebral, analytical things that you look for in boxing matches. So I just enjoyed the whole fight. And I think if you're looking for a guy that you've never heard of that maybe you should check out, I think this guy would be one of them, because I just heard his name through the grapevine. I never watched him fight. I don't know if he's been on much on TV, but he can definitely fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of this guy. Eddie Ramirez. Quick factoids on him. He was actually just like Ryan Karl's previous opponent. He was a Chicago Golden Gloves champion, but he won it in 2013 at 141. So he's a Golden Gloves champion. He's 24 years old. He drives apparently 50 miles to the gym every single day to train with Granados and George Hernandez. So he's from Aurora, Illinois, which I believe is outside of Chicago. That's what they said. Eddie is also, according to what I heard on Fox Sports 1 on the telecast last night, he's also a part-time barber. So that would explain why his tape line was so sharp. I mean, the dude's tape line was straight. But yeah, I think I just saw when I watched this guy fight, I saw a composed fighter, I saw a complete fighter, and I saw someone who has a lot of potential to be, a world champion in the sport. He's still fairly young. You get to go in there and stop a guy like Ryan Cowboy Karl. Maybe a lot of you guys out there might not be familiar with Cowboy Ryan Karl, but that guy was a top prospect. Undefeated, had been busting everybody he fought in his path up, and he went in there and throughout the fight and made Ryan Karl look an ordinary fighter in a lot of instances. So that speaks volumes to Eddie in my eyes. And credit to Ryan Karl. Ryan Karl came in there. He was tough. The guy wouldn't go away. And look, I don't know yet if Ryan Karl will have the skills to be a world champion, but I can tell you one thing. He definitely has the heart and the toughness to be a world champion. So hopefully, I wish nothing but the best for Ryan Karl. The dude went in there and he showed a lot of grit and toughness, but he just couldn't overcome the very well-versed skill set of Eddie Ramirez. And I'm going to keep my eye on Eddie Ramirez and pretty much anybody that's coming out that gym in Chicago, because you have Granados, who's fighting on the 18th. You have Eddie Ramirez, who I've now just seen and familiarized myself with. You had Ed Brown before, he tragically passed away. And then the one guy that Adrian Granados keeps telling me about that I keep hearing is Nathaniel Gillimore, who'll be fighting soon. So I believe he fights the 10th. I'll be checking out. I don't know if he's fighting on TV, but I'll be checking out wherever I could find something on Nathaniel Gillimore. So it looks like George Hernandez is doing some good things there. And it's funny because this fight was not just a match between two underrated prospects, but two underrated trainers in George Hernandez and Ronnie Shields, two guys that don't get a lot of headlines in the sport, but have produced many solid fighters. So let me know what you guys think if you watched the Eddie Ramirez Ryan Karl fight last night. If you did, what did you think about Eddie Ramirez's performance? To me, I don't like to hype up guys too much, but I've seen Ryan Karl fight on numerous occasions, so I know what kind of fighter he is. I know I know what I'm watching. Eddie Ramirez went in there and he put on a world-class performance, and he looks like he'll be fighting for a world title within the next couple of years. The dude has it all, in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about Eddie Ramirez. I'll leave you the Granados quote down below so you guys can see what he said about him. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.